Okay.
Alright.
Hello.
Hello. God, shut up. Hello, welcome everybody to the developer commentary and Q&A for Half-Life Year of the Dragon, the Office Complex demo. God, that was a mouthful.
Wait, we're commentating on this?
You sounded like Tyler for a second.
Yeah. So what I will be doing is I will just sort of be... I'm screen sharing to you guys also in the Discord. But, so I will be basically commentating on sort of just the mod generally while I do a playthrough of it myself. Let me pop out the chat so I can keep up with y'alls.
Yeah, Southerner.
Yeah. And after that, there will be just a little Q&A session where I'll answer questions related to the mod, other work that we here at Freeze do, and I guess other questions about the community. I don't know. We can bitch about people or something. I don't know. We'll figure that part out when we get to it. But anyways, I'm here with... you guys introduce yourselves, because, I don't know, I didn't do this alone.
I'll go first.
Okay.
My name is Maximilian.
I
I
make
make
walks on the beach.
I make
breaking
maps.
glass.
I like long bike rides, and also yeah,
All
They
right.
can you squat across the room?
Okay.
Hey, shut up.
Anyways, let me make sure that...
I'm Brian. I do textures.
I'm Sergeant Head Crab. I'm not sure what I do anymore, but it's
I'm not even sure.
It usually like dies.
Bro, things you make.
I'm
die.
Sinister Spud. I made the animations for the Spyro guy.
Yeah. So me and
I'm not sure I've made anything for you.
me and Spud basically did most of the sort of work with them up, but I mean, there's other people in this group, so they're here anyways. Because why not?
I mean, I play tested it. I didn't break it though because I felt.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll do a stream. Well, I kind of fucked myself with these difficulties because for real Half-Life players. So let's go. So for those who don't know, I guess the first sort of thing I can explain is that let me turn down the volume a little bit more.
Turn down the bit rate.
Turn down for.
Turn down
that's
for
nice.
2.
Yeah, turn. Thank you.
Okay, so anyways, the first thing I guess I could cover about the mod is that the maps you're seeing here were generously allowed to be used by the Savin co-op team. At first, I was just editing the maps through a entity ripper, which just sort of took out NPCs and you could change them around and place them back in the game. That's all I had. But it's very messy. You can't edit the actual geometry of the world that way, and that kind of limits
you
what
can do some things to it, can't you?
No.
You can delete stuff.
Well, you can delete entities and stuff. I had to do that for the Spyro 20th anniversary.
If you wanted to remove a wall, maybe you could.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
So, with the map sources, I was able to make tons of changes to the maps, such as, like, this whole sequence here was redone myself to make it far more sort of believable. Like, with the, I don't know, just with the shock pattern, there's like a wet floor, which causes the arcing, there's a wet floor sign. I could also cover Easter eggs, so our first Easter egg here is Caution Shaft from that mod.
Hey,
Carved
that
the
dead
map.
mod.
Yeah, that did mod.
Preliminary.
Also, this allowed me to make some custom entities, like, for instance, I have a beam entity that follows the player and zaps them, which isn't done in Half-Life normally. So, there's things like that. Anyways. So, I should probably answer the big... I mean, I sort of answered it, but I guess the big question is, why? Why any of this?
Spyro?
Yeah.
I'll say right now, I played it because I've never actually, like, we were given a few tests to play this game, but I don't know why, I just kind of forgot about them every time.
Before you actually got the map sources, it was kind of, not gonna lie, a pile of shit because the maps weren't designed for it.
Well, I didn't think it was, I didn't really
all the coding and all the work you've done for the camera and shit is really good, but the actual level design was not there because we didn't have anything.
Yeah. Well, I actually ran into a few problems with not having the map sources, like ladders. I'll get onto that when I get to ladders, but that was like a literal like wall that I could not progress any further without having sources, because the entity for climbing ladders had to be changed to allow for a platformer like environment. Yeah, why not? So here's another thing that people have been asking is for this line here, so everybody be quiet. Oh, it's really quiet. Hang on. Let me just turn the music off.
Gotta
and
do a
turn it
do-over.
Bit crazy not to stay put. Someone is bound to come by and rescue us. Yes, I'll wait. Yes, I'll stay here with my... Why are you leaving? I don't suppose... Have I been... I'll wait right
Come on,
here.
do the line.
I'll wait right... I'll stay here. Yes, have I been... Why are you...
Didn't he
I
already
don't
do it?
suppose you'd... Glad I'm slowing you
Oh,
down.
he did it, but I missed it. Anyways, I fucking missed it. God damn it. Anyways, I got the voice actor for the scientist in Black Mesa, Cornet Theory, actually emailed me not too long after I posted that July progress update video, asking if he could do voices for the game, or the scientist voice. So that is who's doing that scientist voice. That is not a splice, that's not an edit, it's not actual magic.
He's a great man.
He's a very good voice actor who I believe has even gotten better at sounding like...
Did he do the Black Mesa scientist?
Yes. He also got... He convinced the voice actor for Barney, I forgot his name. It's in the credits.
Fisk.
Okay, Kevin, yes. He actually convinced him to do a few lines. He said he was a far busier person and didn't have time to really get lines in. I wasn't really worried about it. I was like, oh, I'll try to work with it. Yo, Cyrides! Ah, bitch. You're a slut. Anyways. That was a distraction.
Whoa! Whoa! What just...
In the
like
in the
1
chat.
second, and then I just heard you're a slut.
Well, there you go. That's in the recording now. So I'm not gonna get that YouTube money I don't make.
Yeah, you just got...
Will you guys get
It's
new?
not
That's a good
for
question.
children.
Will we get new voicing for the HECU? I'm not sure. Nobody's really picked up on the offer of doing those lines because you would have to more or less redo most of them unless somebody sounded like the, sound like the HECU. So I'm not sure. Anyways, there's also a Barney line. It's one line. He also has a line for questionable ethics. I got him to voice, but that chapter is not included yet. So when that
What happened with In Deep? Is it dead?
I mean, that's Jacathan's mod. He says it's not really dead, but that's up to him to decide. He says it's not dead, but at the same time it is sort of dead. But
Wait, what about In Deep?
In Deep, I don't know. You would have to ask Jacathan. You're gonna have to ask him on it.
Yeah.
You should play it.
We're not really
Yeah.
tied together anymore.
We don't work with them anymore.
So actually,
Go to Ravenholm.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't.
So I actually made a mistake and forgot to make a model for the battery before I released the mod. Spud has already made a model, so when I release a patch like update for the mod, it will be included. I can go into the climbing animation, I guess now because we're here.
Will we get Spyro They Hunger? I sure do hope so.
God.
If I could get map sources to They Hunger, I mean, sure. I don't give a fuck.
In theory, you could put you could maybe I wonder if you could mix Spyro with Half-Life mods as long as they don't have a custom client.
I have no idea. Okay, so this was the thing that I needed map sources to do, which is climbing. Is you can see Spyro faces the direction of the ladder. There wasn't enough information in the entity to obtain directional, like where it's facing. So I had to make a new entity essentially that did that. And without map sources, there's no way to add that to the game. So that's a good thing that I got sources.
Unless you, of course, use the Half-Life source 2003 leaked ones.
Well,
and say goodnight when
to
using those.
decompile or to take the leaked VMFs and edit those is a much slower process, and I wouldn't have gotten the demo out as fast.
Have to redo all the fucking
OG
logic.
bratty lines. What's so bratty?
OG Bratty, I'm not sure.
Rapping.
What about Spyro voice lines? Oh, am I going to use Spyro voice? It'd be cool if I could get somebody to voice Spyro.
Use them for like pain noises. I wouldn't, because Gordon's always.
I don't know. If you know somebody that can voice Spyro, I don't know, get them
I'm
on.
sorry. Gordon's most famous line. whenever he hurts himself.
Yeah, his fucking neck snapping in half is his most famous
Will the beginning of the game be different from original Half-Life? About that, I actually have sort of a theory, or I have some suggestions on what I could do as far as story.
I have a theory about how my game begins.
I mean, I have theory is the wrong word. I have ideas on what I could do. One idea is that the game would have sort of a hub world, like a hub map, similar to the home worlds of Spyro, and from there you would select, you know, the chapters you would go to. Because I don't believe I'm going to be able to get every chapter in this game done. Like, I don't know if I have that sort of just patience and time to do that. So with that being said, yeah, I more than likely will go with that method.
Where on Need Talent 64 will there be an FGD included so we can make maps?
Yes, I fully plan on releasing the next release. I want to do the toolkit, which has the source code, the FGD for maps. It'll contain whatever sources I can give out to where people can develop their own maps in whatever.
I honestly don't see a reason why you can't just, the Sven co-op team can't just give out all their sources.
Well,
really
that's up to them to decide. I can't do that.
Because they are really useful.
They're thinking on making them public, so just keep that in mind. They're thinking on it, but there's no official anything on that, so... Also, don't bug them for it. There's people you can message when asking, so don't just, like, spam them. You can...
Yeah.
Just, you know...
I really like what you did with these rooms. He made them less shit.
Yeah.
Better textures.
What people with a keen eye would notice, I did also change textures around. I didn't use the original textures. I used a different set of textures. Oh, I used a different set of textures for a few of the maps, like for here, for instance. I used a different texture set because I think it looks a lot better.
Yeah.
So does Valve know about that? About what?
That you're making their game better?
Is he saying, like, does Valve know about the sources?
Well, yeah, they're aware of, like, Sven Co-op and everything.
Because, like, Sven Co-op sources, they aren't actual map sources. They're, like, really fixed up decompilers or really fixed up leak maps. Yeah, because they plowed through that shit. Releasing the map. Well, it's not... I mean, you can already get the map sources in a form already.
Yeah, there's a way to get map sources. The Half-Life...
C1AO already has its sources released, and there are ways to get
I killed him.
Usable sources for other maps. It's a little complicated, but yeah.
I think Valve doesn't give a shit, and if they do, then fuck them.
I mean, I'm not worried about the map sources anymore. I'd rather keep talking on about, like, this. The map sources are finicky, I don't know. There's other plans I have as well. So yeah, so onto the second floor. I mean, I didn't do as many edits to this map as far as like making new stuff as I did with the next map after this one. I did add like this open room here, so you have like a little bit more.
The stream textures that we had for the.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna get to all those. Let me just clear out this room real quick. So I added
the scientist model.
Why does it come with a scientist model? I had to make a few edits to some of his scripted sequences to where he like pushed that button to turn off the light. I have it set up to his animation and not a timer, because if it's tied to an animation, it'll always play correctly always. Or if it's off a timer, there's, you know, if he gets like stuck or something, it'll still trigger even though he's not there. Oh shit. Well, let's not die here. So here's another thing I did, or Spud did. He drew this and I put it onto a bulletin board, and it's Spyro and a little hybrid of the monks from Colossus. And let's go over here and get rid of that guy.
Speaking of, I'm drawing some Spyro right now.
Okay. I tried to draw Spyro the other day.
I posted one in the chat.
Here's a texture I made. It's not a, you know, it's just, this was for the Spyro 20th live stream. If they actually got to the power-up where I originally stuck the texture, they would have seen it, but he never did, because 30 minutes, and none of them really, you know, like, knew Half-Life to get there. So a lot of people looked at this image, and they just went, hey, that's not Spyro. and they didn't know what that is. That's actually the like main character from a fan game called Nitro, which is a Spyro-inspired fan game, which is all done in Unity, and it's really pretty. You guys should check it out. It's cool. It has a demo.
Little cat.
It's like a cat thing. It's cool. I don't know. It's neat. So here's a secret that a few people finally discovered, and like Discord has a whole bunch, which is this button.
I don't think I actually saw that.
And that's the secret. So yeah, there's a button there.
Well,
moving on.
does it do anything?
Yeah, it does.
Oh shit!
So yeah, there's this.
What the
I didn't know about this.
The introduction to Quake. There's a lot of gems to collect, which is neat.
Very, very creative magic.
Will the Hunter Professor Moneybag Zoe Allure up here? As far as like the Half-Life sort of portion, where like the Half-Life sort of crossover, I don't think I'm going to use anybody. Maybe the Professor, just because it's a scientist. But as far as like other Half-Life characters, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, this is an Easter egg. Soon. People that follow me on Twitter more or less kind of know what this is about, but yeah, all of you are kind of in the dark.
You know,
also, I edited the textures here, made like a transition. But yeah, that Quake.
It's pretty. You know, it's not hard to make a shambler, right?
What?
Who said that?
In Half-Life?
Shambler?
Oh yeah.
You can make a shambler easily in Half-Life.
It's like a Vortigern.
Oh.
The Vortigon's literally
Really
a
big
shambler.
Vortigon.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. That's like literally not a joke.
Does the model use vertex animations? No, I have code actually to re-enable vertex animations with the model like renderer in Half-Life. So I have the ability to do that, but I don't know. I'm probably going to remodel stuff. But anyways, that whole Quake thing is an idea I'm sort of having, which would be the more fleshed out sort of like goal with this mod. So while Spyro's in Half-Life, there might be a more bigger story to tell with Spyro and Quake, but it's quite a ways off. I know I put soon, but there's more that I gotta sort of plan out before I get there. Spyro, Quake, and yeah, so Quake and Gold Source, and then Spyro and Gold Source. So it's like a merge of just shit. I'm probably gonna put more Easter eggs in the game for sure. I don't know exactly which ones.
Hello, sir. Hey, what the hell are you doing?
And he died. Eventually. Yeah, I should have said that, but I don't know. I might get it out sooner than you think. I don't know. It just depends. We're gonna go off of Valve time, where soon can mean the next 30 years.
Oh, Lord.
Half-Life 2 Spyro win? Well, I'm not gonna make that. I'm not touching source engines. I'm not going to touch the source engine, sadly. I said I'll release the source code to this.
Source engine is really crusty.
I mean, if somebody else wants to put in source, they're very welcome to, but I'm not going to do it. I'd rather move on to a new engine. I'm not going to stick in the. I'm not going to stick with that engine if I did.
It's kind of been the
like
overall
that
opinion
engine
of the team. Most people would like to move out of Gold Source and Source in general.
So
there's me. There's my cameo.
Yeah.
There's my cowboy cameo.
Yeah, it's all burned now.
Yeah, I burned it. Fuck him.
When it comes to other engines, though, I used Unity at some point to work on like a Petscop remake, and one of the people in the chat were also working on it with me. It was really cool, and I liked using Unity. I think it's great for pretty much anything. It's just you need to not like fucking make a shitty game, because the big thing with Unity is that it gets a bad rap because of all the shitty games that have been made on it, because it is a free engine.
Yeah,
unless you buy like a pro license.
Unity gets a bad rap for all the crap that's made for it, but I mean, so does Half-Life with all the garbage mods made for it. So
and Crytek.
It's really good at making your like a specific style.
Unity's Unity's a really good engine. I've been sort of tinkering with it, and I really want to use it at some point. Cause it, yeah. Well, I would buy a license, or I'd buy like a paid version at some point if I did anything that like got released. Like I wouldn't.
Oh, shout out to Wireless.
Yeah, shout out to Wirelex just in general. He's a cool dude. Makes cool stuff.
No, because he was the one working with me on
Yeah, I know, but I like
those
his
balls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Rito?
So I sort of forgot to mention this. So this map has had a ton of edits. As for one, this whole cafeteria is based on the earlier beta design of it, which is far more sort of realistic. Like this sort of, I don't know. It has less like tables stuff, but it feels more like a, you know, cafeteria where there's like a kitchen and then that leads to the freezer. There's like a balcony to get across. It's a lot better in my opinion than retail. So I did make a liberty changing that, but I don't know. I think it's justified.
It was reused from preliminary, wasn't it?
I did copy work from preliminary to get it in here.
Because preliminary's early cafeteria was pretty much what you were
It's yeah. So I also changed the sequence in here to be less about vents and just sort of it's sort of just a hit a button puzzle, like, or it's not even really a puzzle. It's just sort of a thing to do. Shit, you got me. Yeah, I don't know. I sort of just simplified the task. One of the patches I gotta make is making this. I need to make these levers passable, like the player can go through them, because I noticed people were getting stuck on them, which is my bad. I didn't think people would jump up there to get fucking caught on them, but y'all did it.
Yeah, Half-Life you can really just fuck around in it.
Yeah. Anything else to explain about this? Besides some texture cleanup and things like that, I mean, this whole sequence is pretty much the same. I wonder how Spyro will pass the Apache. If I get to a surface tension map where there's the Apache, I have an idea using one of Spyro's special abilities. So it's not like I don't have an idea for that. It'd probably be a super flame, because that shoots out a physical like ball of fire, and you can aim that, so it'll probably be something along that line.
Going through the vents here.
Dragon Boy versus Apache. Well, dragon, obviously. It's a fucking dragon.
I don't know, the Apache's got a bunch of bullets in it.
Spyro can take a few bullets. Spyro could take a few bullets. Ah, fine. Oh, shit. I made this really hard to get to. Fuck. I don't know if anybody's really gone over there to get the gems or not, because I made it kind of a bitch to get to.
That is a bitch to get to.
It's really like a precise jump.
You need me to do some of your level design.
I don't care. I also forgot to make this breakable. My bad.
Balls.
My B.
Nuts.
Woo! So we're wrapping up near the end of the demo here. We got one more sequence here, which is killing those guys and getting across here. I left a so I really wanted to make a gliding segment because it's Spyro can glide. Why not utilize his abilities in this mod, you know? So I try to do a balcony jump, and it's, I don't know, like, it's alright, but I feel like with some people, they still have trouble making it across.
You can push that crate, can't you?
Yeah, and that gives you a platform to get a running start from. Like, you don't
I would have
need
just had, like, a few wooden planks or some shit. Probably, maybe.
I mean, I can make it across, it's fine. You just gotta... Like, the jumping in the game is just like Spyro, where if you tap the jump, you'll do a small jump. See? And if you hold it, you'll do a full jump. Like, you gotta... It's, I don't know, it's just like a platformer.
Also, if you tap again, you'll glide.
If you tap, it'll do a perfect glide. It'll... If you double tap, like, really quickly, it'll do a perfect glide, where it'll glide at the very top of the jump. So... Gliding in Zen? Oh, yeah. Gliding in Zen's really fun. I want to do a Zen chapter. For sure. Like, I will probably have Zen for a demo. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, essentially, health is taken from gems. Or, I mean, gems are taken to get health. If I want to add in sparks next, So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the gyms after that update because, well, there won't be a use for health stations. Well, maybe there might be. I don't have an idea. But yeah, so the next thing I'm going to add is sparks for sure. But I do need to explain that I'm going to start working on preliminary from here again. So you're probably not going to see an update, like a big update for, you know, Year of the Dragon till probably next year, probably at the start of 2019. So just keep that in mind, guys, if you're following the project, that it'll probably have a little bit of a break as I work on other stuff. Also, I need to release the shaft sources, so...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't cover this other fan game. So this is Zera, yeah. That's another fan game. It was a Spyro fan game, like that featured Spyro, but Activision took it down. A lot of people know about it because it blew up as a story. Like IGN covered it, Forbes covered it. It kind of shows that Activision's gay. And they're shit. Cyrides. Oh. He's the guy that makes it also in the chat. By the by. I thought about a thing where the health kits would release a butterfly and it would cost you gems to release it. So like there's a way to keep gems incorporated. I don't know. I'll figure that out. I figured everything else out. So this is the room people complained about. They weren't happy about the ladders being like jutted out. Like I wanted to keep the challenge of not falling, but it seems people weren't happy about it either way, so
I mean, it's a ladder.
I tried. I don't know. It's to make this platformer friendly was not easy. Like it's still not the most platforming easy because this jump and the camera. Like I tuck this in a lot, and it's still hard to see. Get good. Well, people should get good. I mean, I can make it, but I also developed it, so. And that's the demo. It ends here. I didn't get any other chapters in. Yeah.
Good Nacht.
Further data required.
End of Yemo.
I don't know if I put in other maps. I don't know what else is in here. Test room's in here.
Oh, it's Fulbright.
Oh, it's yeah, it's like Fulbright right now. Ugh.
Ah. E.
I don't know. Spyro uplink win. Well, I don't have any sources to uplink, and that's not on source either. So you're probably not going to see that ever.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that's not a very interesting thing for Spyro. I mean, like it kind of is. I don't know. The next chapter I'll probably do for Spyro is probably going to be either a Zen chapter. I might hold it off till the third release, but it'll probably be residue processing or Zen or questionable ethics or like surface tension. Like one of those 3 or 4 chapters is what I'll probably do. Also, there's a mistake I made. As you can see, you can't pick up anything, like any weapons, obviously. But I forgot to do it to the crowbar. So Spyro has a crowbar.
Spyro can wield a crowbar and kill everyone.
Good.
Yeah, that was a mistake. Spyro opposing force. I mean, come on, guys. There's no sources to opposing force. Even Savin couldn't get them. So
Yeah.
If you wanted to get sources to opposing force, you can't.
yeah, if you wanted to, they'll blacklist you if you ask. So you can do that.
Really? They will?
Well,
Yeah, they blocked.
Sven tried to get it from both Valve and Gearbox. Gearbox just told them, like, we don't know, talk to Valve. And then they tried talking to Valve. Well, first they talked to Valve. And Valve was like, we don't know, go talk to Gearbox. They go talk to Gearbox.
It's like
we don't know, go talk to Valve. Hey, Valve, where are these maps? Blacklisted.
It's like what your parents do, and you know you're trying to go somewhere, and you're like, oh, go ask your father, go ask your mother, and then it's you know that they have them, they just don't want to deal with you.
Yeah.
So they just tell you in a quiet way to fuck off.
All right. I don't know if I have
game
anything else to cover in the game. I might switch the stream over just to the pure like sort of Q&A mode, where you guys can just yell at us. So let's do that. I don't have anything else to really cover, so here we're gonna go to that now. You can see the Robotnik corner.
There he is.
The official.
Keep your nipples clean.
Okay. So, I mean, there's been a lot of questions already pertaining to the mod, but I mean, this is like a general sort of Q&A, like AMA thing. I don't ask us questions.
I mean, I don't know how many people are here just for Spyro, but we are Freeze team, so we do have
Yeah, if you have questions about preliminary, like Shaft, which is dead, but I mean, you can ask anyways. Purgatorium.
Just future projects in general.
Future projects, if you want us to bitch about how awful both communities are, we can do that too.
We're very conversational, so.
Yeah, we're also very.
Well, I just go off on
very
shit for like
angry.
2 hours straight. But...
Yeah, so.
We're conversational.
What do you think of the AZ mod?
We're angry old men. What do we think of AZ?
Okay. Okay. Hang on. Okay, so there was a fallout with the AZ mod at first where we had like a huge fight and we were like hating each other and all sorts of stuff because of the main developer dead. But like we're gonna say now we've resolved that. We've literally all talked, sat down, had a talk, got put it under the bridge. So what do I think of AZ? I think me on a personal level, I think it's a fine mod. I think it's improved a lot since its first demo with Flame C doing a lot of the mapping, and same with the other Zed Marines. They've been doing pretty good.
Yep.
So I mean, like, it's getting better, and it's releasing next year, so we can see what the whole game looks like.
I think it's pretty good. My personal take.
All right.
Yeah, like you said, we're on much better terms with the AZ team now, so
yeah.
It's not like there used to be. It's bad. So
I'll give my take.
Yeah.
Things got a lot better.
They need to up their "We've got hostiles" or I will fucking burn them.
Okay, hang on. Before.
It's all about the hostile.
Okay, before questions start.
If you love it so much, why don't you marry?
Okay, before questions keep scrolling, I want to get to the next one. Okay, so Conker's Bad Fur Day and Gold Source. I don't know. I do want to. I do as like just for fun. I want to do other like platformers and games in Gold Source for the hell of it. But I don't know if I will. But like I want to. Like I want to do Glover. I've actually did a Mario in Gold Source. I don't have the builds on here, but
I'd say that Spyro and Gold Source is an old idea that's kind of existed since
Spyro and Gold
2017, maybe.
Yeah, no, November.
An idea of a platformer based Half-Life thing.
Yeah, since November of 2017, I've been wanting to do Spyro and Gold Source, and I sort of pre-planned it. Around May, I got the model in because I got permission from Dr. Face to use his remake Gmod version. So I did an animation we put on Twitter, blew the fuck up, which is amazing. But yeah, so that sort of spawned all that. But I did originally start with a Mario mod, which I wish I had the build. Fuck, I should have done that. I should have grabbed it. This would have been great. But I didn't. I'll probably just put it on YouTube later. I'll just record footage and put it up.
You do make the hunger. Wow, we are.
Okay,
there's a lot of questions.
I know. Living Beakers from Spyro 3. Oh, okay. Have you guys thought about increasing the FOV camera depending on how close Spyro is? It's really claustrophobic in some parts. I do want to... Yes, I do want to put in a control that essentially controls the zoom and field of view for Spyro so you can set it on the fly.
Yeah, the FOV is pretty weird in the mod. It's like 60, isn't it?
I try to replicate it to be similar to Spyro. I tried 60 and it was really close and like not very wide, so I did 80. So I don't know. I will add support to adjust that to everybody's personal. Yeah.
We got a lot of questions. All right.
Okay.
Wirelex, just first off.
Well, hang on.
Pretty much why the project never got finished, because it was originally going to be Mario, but then we all kind of realized that, yeah, we would start getting in trouble from Nintendo.
Yeah.
So then we tried to make it pseudo Mario, and the project kind of died after that because we knew if it wasn't really Mario, it just wouldn't get the ground.
Yeah.
It wouldn't get any.
The idea, actually, is sort of why Quake is in Spyro now, is originally it was going to be... I still want to do it. It was going to be the Quake guy would... Okay, so at the intro of Mario 64, the camera flies around and it's all sort of like and Mario hops out of the pipe. I was gonna have the Quake guy telefrag Mario,
yeah,
and then you would play as the Quake guy. It'd be like an FPS in Mario's world. It'd be the reverse, and it was really cool. But I just know, even with all of that change, Nintendo still would probably just be like, no.
Well, yeah. So at one point we started redesigning the whole thing, and then kind of died after that because we just, like I said, we knew it wouldn't make it. Gaming Dreamer, thanks a bunch.
Yeah. Let me do the next question.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just the whole thing is, Spyro was on the way in. When Crash Insane came out, I knew Spyro was going to get a remastered. It was in the books because it's money. Activision loves money. They're going to do Spyro. So I started the mod. Then the game got announced. I'm like, all right, perfect. It's time to do the mod because Spyro is going to be super relevant. So it'll like people will see it. I didn't think 15,000 people were going to blow up a tweet, but
yeah.
Yeah. Cyrides question. You guys going to look? Okay. You guys going to look into planning your own thing in another engine soon? While this is still going, or do you have to wait until it's completely done? I mean, I'm tinkering around with Unity right now, and I know Spud has messed with Unity a bunch. Like, I definitely want to do a Unity project. There's an original game. Like, I've had an original game idea in my head since like 2009, and I've just been like, just sort of tinkering with the ideas on it in my mind and like stuff. And I wanted to do it in Gold Source, obviously, because that's what I've come to love. But I'm like, if I did an original engine, the limitations of Gold Source and just the crustiness of it, because I have to use a source port, Steam's a pile of garbage. It's just moving to an original engine would be the best thing for an original idea. Also, it'd be it's a step in the right direction. You can't, you don't want to stay in the past forever.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we've had like a few. Technically, Purgatorium's the only thing. Well, first of all, pretty much everything's on hold till You're the Dragon, because Magic, he does a lot of the work, and I mean, there's like a little development between, but until everyone's really working on a project, we tend to kind of not get much progress done. So You're the Dragon's the first thing, it's the big project right now. So yeah, it's what's being focused on, and rightfully so.
Oh, that wasn't animated. Oh yeah, but I mean, with the demo out, I'm going to get the Shaft repo finished and uploaded. It'll be on a Mega, but also it'll be hosted on that Shaft website as well. I have plenty of permission to put it on there, so it'll be on 2 areas. Once that out, I'm gonna finish the Blast Pit 4 preliminary. That chapter, I'm very close to being done.
Do you guys like Totino's pizzas?
Oh, wait, hang on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. But so it shouldn't take me very long to get the Shaft sources out. It shouldn't take me long to finish up preliminary. So at the start of 2019, I will get back to the next part of the Spyro mod. I haven't gotten a cease and desist from Activision yet. They haven't knocked on my door.
2019 is probably going to be the year that Freeze actually does some new things.
I will say, though, I'm going to say right now, I mean, with the mod out and all the coverage it's gotten, even though I've not gotten anything from Activision or anything, I mean, if they send something to my door, that's kind of it. I mean, I have parity on my side, but if a company wants you to stop making it, they win because they're a company and they have money. Even if I'm in the legal right, I lose.
When's Beta Pack 900 update?
I don't think that's getting updated.
No, it is. We kind of honestly, I really do need to update it. I really should. It honestly completely left my mind because
I'm done with beta.
Well, let's make a thing. I think we've said it before, but yeah, preliminary is the final thing of beta from Freeze. Perhaps when preliminary does its Blast Pit release, we'll also update the. Or I'll just say right now, when preliminary gets his Blast Pit release, I will release an update with fixes for beta pack.
Yeah. So that's kind of the reason why preliminary is actually releasing and Shaft died, is just because, like, Shaft was a mod that helped us learn how to work as a team. It was, it was a really nice idea and really ambitious, but it just ended up being very taxing. We all grew up and found, better interests, and it's, we just sort of moved on from beta. But I still like it, but preliminary is so much more small of a goal that it's very practical, as I'm just trying to accurately remake an area. I'm not trying to go very all out and do that. I do want to do the next question because we're going beta.
Sorry,
But yeah,
so much. Where are we at right now?
That was another question. Prospero mod.
No.
Okay. So, well, I want to say
Okay.
Well, I know. I want to say I did mention
go for it.
that like the idea of doing like with the Spyro mod out, it has a third-person camera. It has the platforming aspects. It has, like particles and stuff like like it turns a first-person shooter into a completely different kettle of fish. Which is why Prospero. I'm like, oh, that could be cool. We could do Prospero. What's Sonic look like in Half? Hang on, Vienna. But anyways, so I thought about the idea of Prospero, and it's interesting. I don't know if I'll do it. I have thought about if the Spyro mod gets a C and D, I could do Prospero, try to do something with that, because it's there's a lot of creative liberties with it because there's not much information on it. So there's a lot we could do with it, but I'm not going to say we're developing any sort of Prospero mod or anything at this moment, or really, it's just an idea along with a lot of other ideas. And if we don't,
Valve News Network?
Basically it's an idea and it may not ever happen. It may not fall through, or it just depends on time and if we'll get to it and interest, because interests change. All right, John. All right, John Calder. I see what you're doing with the allure and stuff.
No, none of that. Thank you.
I'm very much attracted to humans, and that's the line. I think as like a character in the game, they illustrate her like her character's drawing looks cool, just like like how she's like depicted's fine, but I don't want to smash.
Yeah, I think the whole fucking a video game animal, it's a pretty big problem in our
as for Sonic, by the way, Sonic and Half-Life, no.
Okay.
That would be terrible.
Okay, before we get to the Sonic one, just because I think there's a fundamental problem with Sonic and Half-Life, which is how fast an object can move within the game world before it literally can't go any faster and the physics fall apart. Like the crossbow bolt, how quickly that travels, like when you fire it from the crossbow, that's about as fast as you can go in the game. Any faster than that, the game starts to freak out and it doesn't know what to do. Like it can't calculate the physics at the speed it needs to in order to keep up.
Let me just a little thing out. Sonic in the original games was actually slower than Mario could run in like paces. Sonic only looked fast. In reality, the idea of a ridiculously fast player character, like the speeds that Sonic is supposed to run, is really bad. He cannot navigate easily without the physics feeling wonky or the maps being pretty dull. It's just how it is. It would not go into Half-Life well at all. Quake, I mean, GMAD's made Sonic in Half-Life and in Quake.
Okay, because people are asking about the speed thing. Okay, as far as Sonic, like, as far as the character's concerned, like, if I was to do Sonic and Half-Life, if I did all those other ones, I prefer 2D Sonic. I don't like Sonic in 3 dimensions. I've never enjoyed it. As a platformer in 2 dimensions, it's fine. I absolutely love the 2D games. They're great. But in 3 dimensions, I've never had fun. Crash and Half-Life. Not a big enough fan of Crash, and that's why I chose Spyro. That's why I chose Spyro. I'm not as big as the Crash fans. Crash and Half-Life would be interesting.
Would it?
It'd be interesting just as much as Spyro, but I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would do that. It just never attached to me the same way as Spyro.
Crash a gun.
He just starts shooting people.
Yeah.
God. Okay.
Don't give Crash a gun. He might turn it on an innocent.
There's another random sort of question. Do you watch Xavier Renegade Angel? No.
Yes.
He does. I don't.
Yes.
I don't. But they do.
It's amazing.
It's a really good show.
There you
Yeah.
go. If you could. He asked with the supercharge. Well, okay. So Spyro under supercharge is not moving that fast. Like he's not moving fast enough to go beyond the speed limit of Half-Life's like calculations. So no, that's fully possible. Like, yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure how well he would do on like the sort of terrain. I'd have to sort of work around to make sure he doesn't like get clipped into anything, but it should it should fundamentally work. I haven't done a supercharge, but I think it should work. What if Gordon Freeman was in Spyro? I'm not sure that would work because
it
Gordon,
would be weird.
You would have to give him the long jump for sure, but even then, I feel like it'd be just ridiculous because you could just shoot everything. Like enemies in Spyro don't shoot at you besides like
There's
a few
lot
of
of
them.
proof that enemies in Spyro cannot withstand bullets.
I don't know. I don't think it could go the other way around. It would be cool just for the fun of it, but no.
I'm surprised no one's asked the real question. Sans in Half-Life.
No.
Evil.
He's already in. He's in Half-Life. He's been there the whole time.
He is. He's already there.
He's in.
Everyone is here.
So what? All Valve Beta and Gold Source. No.
No.
Oh my God! Please don't. I'll actually cry. Somebody said Ratchet. Oh yeah, Cyrene said Ratchet and Half-Life. I kind of. I mean, that would work. It could work. Ratchet and Half-Life would work easily.
I'm sure a lot of things could work in
that would work, and that would
considering Gordon's only a human with guns.
Yeah.
Sure, a lot of things could make it in Half-Life.
Yeah. So there's a mod called Counterlife, which.
Gordon
Okay. But anyways, there's a mod called Counterlife, which adds the Counter-Strike weapons to Half-Life, along with the purchasing menus and everything, and it uses health chargers to be your purchasing menu. So I imagine with Ratchet and Clank in Half-Life, the gunplay is already there. You just have to add in all the guns and what they do. And then you just make the health chargers your purchasing menu so you can acquire the weapons, besides, picking them up. And I mean, it would work. I think it would work very easily and not even be that hard to do. But I don't know if I'm going to do that. I mean, I have only so many years to be alive, and I mean, I don't know if I want to be known as that crossover guy that just puts everything to Half-Life. I thought about it in my mind, but
it's a very strange career to pay for you. I put all kinds of things into Half-Life.
I mean, it would be interesting. I think people would be interested. But I feel like there's a point where after you put a certain character into Half-Life, to go to do another character won't be as as surprising.
Smash Brothers and Gold Source.
Well, I'm just saying I think there's a peak to how crazy a crossover can be, and I think Spyro is kind of that limit.
I have heard of Doom 2: The Golden Souls, and it is a very good mod.
I mean, I'm going to answer the question anyway, Cyrene. I don't care. I mean, it's a Q&A.
Oh, sorry, I'm not.
Oh. If you wanted to add a new weapon to Half-Life, what would it be? That's interesting. What would I add? It could be any weapon.
I would put
Hellfire
a black hole gun.
The black hole gun would be interesting. Hellfire missiles.
The phalanx from Quake 2.
I thought you were going to say a phallus.
Phallus, just a dick launcher.
No, the phalanx.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. A dildo.
It's like when you go find the slaughterhouse that creates a black hole.
Yeah, no, I love that gun.
Oh, yeah, I would
a normal Half-Life.
I would add G-bombs to Half-Life so you can crash Half-Life whenever you want.
I would add
EA Sports Tiger Wood and Half-Life. That would You know what? That would be
That would be a great mod if you had to line up all your fucking shots.
There has been a robot fighting game in Half-Life. There has been a racing car game in Half-Life, and now there's been Spyro in Half-Life. I think a golfing game in Half-Life would be the peak. If you could get golfing into Half-Life,
I think the real peak. I think the real peak magic is Half-Life Party.
Oh my! A fucking party
Mario Party, but with Half-Life characters.
Try not to get crushed by the door. It would just be. It'd be all the
pay good money to play that.
It'd be all the Savin co-op mini games from that one game mode.
I would play that hard.
I'm gonna switch earbuds because one's killing my ear now.
If you had a choice to make an existing Valve game to Gold Source, what would it be?
If you had a choice to demake,
I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't do any.
If I was to demake any sort of game into Half-Life, if I was to take a Source engine game or something and put it into Half-Life, Portal would be interesting, but that's about it. I mean, there's already the Half-Life 2 Classic demake, which they're sort of stretching it because they're getting they have kind of a physics engine, but not really. It's more or less just the built-in physics.
Starting to
But
pick up some speed too.
yeah, well, they're
Postal 3.
It's not a Valve game.
Postal 1.
Quake 2.
That's a
That wouldn't even be a demake. That'd be a remake because it came out a year before.
Black Mesa
Postal
Classic
1
3.
remake would be cool.
We already have a Postal 1.
Oh
remake.
yeah. Okay. So I forgot about your question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. So he said opinion on the Godot engine. I looked at the Godot engine and I thought it was very neat, but I downloaded the sort of developer kit for it and just sort of stared at it for a while and then closed it. So.
Spud, has anyone remade Postal 1 and Postal 2?
I should probably take a. Hang on.
In Postal 2, no.
That would be a cool idea.
I can't think of any.
I think the Godot engine's good. I think it just needs more. I think with some more updates to it, I'm pretty sure it'd be just fine. I mean, it looks really good, but I mean.
Tamagotchi Life and Gold Source. I love Tamagotchi. Sorry.
Wii Bowling and Half-Life. Portal 1 is only good Postal. Oh, Postal 1 is only good Postal.
I like Postal 2, but that's just me.
Ooh. Man, we're not even.
It's not Halloween anymore.
I'm sorry. I think Postal 1 it's great, but it doesn't have as much substance
Portal
as 2 does.
Postal 2 is bad. I keep reading that as Portal for some reason. God damn. Fuck you, Gabe. I got Valve is
Half-Life was made by EA.
That's what they had on the Greenlight page, is that they had Postal 2, but with the R marked out.
I got a snap.
But edgy for the sake of edginess. Well, that's because it was made in a time when that was totally fine. You know, now it's a bit different, but that was the norm back then, and it's kind of great. It's a bit of a time capsule almost, and that's
I feel like
kind of
the
why I love
gunplay kind of sucks.
I don't know.
I don't have much
It's
opinion
not
on it.
anything to write home about, but it's not like it's that bad. You can't do anything that's remarkable, but it's not like
It's all pretty stiff.
yeah. Sometimes I can kind of get that. The game has a lot of the what?
Half-Life demake. I mean, there's that Half-Life mod in Doom. I don't know if you would go beyond that.
There's plenty of Half-Life remakes. There's
there's
2D Half-Life and stuff. There's plenty of remakes. Anything past 2D Half-Life is just stupid.
I'm over f-stop, please. I'm over the.
I'm over f-stop. I didn't even work on f-stop, and I'm over it.
I'm not even involved with f-stop in any way, in shape or form. Kirby and Half-Life.
Man.
Just a oh god,
alien abilities would be a lot of fun.
I didn't think of the implications of that.
Kirby and Half-Life would be super great, and I would actually enjoy that.
That'd be interesting, but Jesus Christ, it
would be hard.
You would just be killing everything.
Yeah. If Kirby got a hold of a Gargantua, it would pretty much be over.
I mean, it'd almost be like the pills in Gmod, where essentially you would just be absorbing enemies and friendlies and just taking their abilities. But for as far as the humans are aware, you're just going to absorb them and just have a gun. It's not very...
Yeah, I mean, absorbing Barney would just kind of be rude.
Yeah. Would eating a snake mean death? A snark mean death? Yeah. Shit.
Inevitable death.
You would explode.
Uh-oh.
Well, that mod's dead.
Yep. Shit.
Mario Odyssey and Half-Life. I mean, I already said I did the Mario 64 thing, so it'd just be more of the same. I haven't actually played Mario Odyssey. I should probably do that at some point. But also, can you send me a Switch so I can play it? Also, if anybody wants to send me a PS4, that'd be cool, so I can play the Spyro remake when that comes out. Thanks. The address is 12345
Gamer Street
6 Gamer Street Boulevard, Meme, Texas.
Meme, Texas.
Any other questions? Would you mind? No. That song plays at work on the radio sometimes, and I absolutely hate I hate everything about it now. So no.
Neck balls. I'm back. I don't know why my mic's muted. I tried speaking for 20 minutes.
you're just like guys.
Fucking hate everything.
Guys, I'm here.
Alright, Magic, it's time to die.
Guys, besides Max, did I say he was going to say that?
No.
Max is dead.
I literally told Brian and Headcrab that you were going to say that at some point.
Wait.
Remember?
Yeah.
He was going to say it's time to die.
Oh yeah.
Magic.
Why is your name Magic? Why is your name Magic Nipples? Ah, there we.
Oh.
All right, there you go. Cyreni's answered it. Next question.
Yeah.
All right, so the answer is
You got 7-inch
my
nipples.
original username was this. As
He
some
uses them as
people,
weapons.
my original username was that, which obviously I was not fond of. It was just sort of a thing I had. And I'll get to that question in a second. Anyways, I was not fond of my original username, and there was like some other guy on the internet mentioned it, like the name Magic Nipples like popped up when I like was watching a video or something. Like just, I was like, wow, that'd be an interesting name.
It's a really fucking retarded name. Let's do
It's
it.
a pretty
I chose the name just because I knew with that sort of a name, people would remember it. Like they'd be like, and it's worked. Like with all the coverage of like the Spyro mod and everything else. Anytime anybody says my name, they always have to say something about it, or they say it in general just because the name is just, like fucking a mod by Magic Nipples or a game by Magic Nipples.
My name.
Like it's just people just have to say it because it's just so bizarre. So I think it's worked. However, I will say now, I don't know if I'm going to keep the name forever. I imagine there's going to be a point in my life where I'll get old enough to where being called Magic Nipples will be less funny and more just creepy. So there's probably going to be a point where I'm going to just go with like my real first name, and I'll just retire Magic Nipples to like the character you see on the screen. It'll just be the wizard, but I will no longer be the wizard myself. When I get really old, I will become the wizard again. So I'll go full circle. Anyways, what's your guys' opinion on the recent Smash Direct? Fucking the Grinch was the lie.
The Grinch was
The
a
fuck was
complete
that?
lie, and a very talented lie.
What kind of shit? Like, did they do that on purpose, knowing that people would spread it? That's what I want to know.
It
Because
was like very well put together.
if the whole intention of the texture artists for that trailer were like, if we put this in, people are going to notice it, they're going to spread it, and then they're going to lose their shit when it's wrong. Like, if they thought that all out, then they need a fucking applause, and then they need to be dragged out to the street and shot.
Yeah.
That's all I heard. Dragged out to the street and
Because
shot.
that is extremely clever, but also fuck you. Because when I saw the Smash Direct and saw a fucking piranha plant as the character, I want to die. Like, there's still no Waluigi. Like, what the fuck? Fucking piranha
the
plant.
fact that Waluigi still hasn't gotten his time to shine.
Oh, we got a piranha plant.
Poor
Can't
baby.
even, we got a character that technically can't even move, but whatever. What?
We got a character that's really gay.
I mean, I don't know. Everything else is fine about it. I noticed the level creator is not in it. That's shit. I like the level creator. I made
I
tons
was
of.
laughing when everyone who thought Bandana D was gonna get in.
Oh my god,
Dude,
dude! All
their day
okay.
was
I'm gonna say right now,
ruined.
all the people with like Crash and Spyro and Smash, like all the people like Crash for Smash, Spyro for Smash, and it's like you got like it's not happening. They're not doing it. They didn't do Rayman, and that was like the closest ever that unrelated like entity was going to get into Smash. Like that was unrelated completely. That was the closest that was going to ever get to that, and it never happened. They got a fucking trophy, and that's as far as it got. I mean, I think it'd be cool if there was a Spyro and Crash trophy, but I don't see
There are
the
no more trophies.
Oh yeah, that's going away too. So never mind. I don't know. It's not happening. People get too hyped for this. Yeah, people get too hyped for a lot of stuff. I just saw the leak and I was like, wow, that's really interesting. Like, I saw Geno and Banjo-Kazooie. I'm like, well, maybe it's possible they secured the rights for the N64
Yeah, I knew they
Classic.
didn't. I just knew that they didn't.
Dude, yeah, they were never going to be in Smash. Like, would it be cool to see him Smash? I mean, yeah, it'd be cool, but nah. It's up to Sakurai to approve a character being in Smash. Like, Sakurai has to take the character, figure out how he's going to work, how his attacks are going to be, how balanced he is, how he'll relate to other characters, and then he'll put him in. I'm pretty sure those characters just do not appeal to him in being playable.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I don't
not
see.
Not to be rude, but according to Sakurai's interests, Steve from Minecraft has a better chance.
Yeah, no, it's not happening. There's no. I would love for it to happen, but you're just gonna have to wait for mods again to get Crash and Spyro and Half-Life. Or fucking goddamn it, to get Crash and Spyro into Smash, it'll be mods. It's gonna be mods, like it's always been.
As a legal entity is disbanded. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. The only Smash Bros. I care about. Can you get rid of him? No. Removed. Comment removed.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah. Boy.
Comment removed.
Steve is a Smash player. Oh my god, Minecraft Steve. He just every button just mines brown bricks.
He's mining diamonds.
every button mines brown bricks. And then he just shoves them in people's asses.
Can you please show this beautiful image on Stream Magic?
I like the brown.
I gotta approve of this image. L.
Yeah, take it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so so I'm just gonna yeah. So everybody that wants Crash and Spyro and Smash, here you go. It won't post. It's over the limit. Oh well. I'll just desktop share it.
Yes, epic.
All right. Yeah. So if you want Crash and Spyro and Smash,
you gotta take this.
Yeah, you can take the.
You can take this.
You can take the L.
Take it, cunt.
All right, back to that.
Little cunt.
All right, calm down.
Yeah.
Okay. There was another question. Would remaking They Hunger be possible with Black Widow being disbanded? I don't know yet because Jack's been trying to contact the people behind that They Hunger 2. And I think he may have gotten in contact with somebody. I don't know, but I mean, I guess you could. I mean, I don't think anybody's gonna care.
It's hard to talk to them because
a lot of them have just disappeared.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think they would care. I don't think it matters. Go for it.
I remember Jack did get in contact with someone, and they said they didn't have much left.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, he did. He had some images, and that was it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh wait, hang on. Okay, so there was this question. When and how did you get interested in beta? I guess for me, I got interested around 2007 or 8 when I first saw on YouTube the early Half-Life trailer, and I was like, "Whoa, what the hell? This looks nothing like the game. It has a bare-handed weapon. None of the levels look the same." And from there, I found the quiver. I found the quiver mod. I was like, "Whoa, this mod's really cool." I tried to make my own mod. It was awful. They harassed the shit out of me, and then they all died, and then we started Shaft, and
then they all died.
Dude, they all died. All of them.
They're all actually fucking dead.
One of them might actually be dead. I don't know.
Drug overdose.
Oh, congrats on the subs. Thanks. Oh, did I make the 3K? I didn't actually check. Let me see.
You've done it, son.
You did it, sus.
Let me check real quick. There was another question. I do want to
3K subscribers.
I did it exactly 3,000. If anybody subs, I'm going to find you. So keep that in mind. If you unsub, I know where you are. It tells me.
Hey, congrats.
I don't care. It's cool. Thanks. It's gonna take I should just start re-uploading Spyro videos so I can get 15,000 real fast. So I already knows what I'm talking about.
Magic 3,000 subscriber beatdowns for you.
Okay. There's another question. I'm gonna move on from that. I wonder what happens when you press magic. Oof. Yeah. Oh yeah. So I actually got to tell you something later that involves a Spyro related thing and one of those Spyro tubers. They sent me a DM. It was interesting. I don't know. I don't know. You can ask Ghosty. He knows what I'm talking about. I don't know. I could tell you later. It was interesting. I think I pissed one of them off really badly. Like, really badly. Like, if they had to DM me personally, I must have angered them really, really badly. But anyways.
This Spyro looks like a fucking...
There was another question. What kind of games do you plan on making in the future? I don't know. I always like FPSs and platformers. I do want to make an FPS. That's always been in my mind, is to make like an original FPS. It would be sort of like an interactive, what do you call? Interactive sim or whatever, like reality sim where kind of like Metroid or something. Or, not an ARG, really. I don't know. I've always been inspired by like Metroid and like Half-Life, and I wanted to do a game that's sort of like, I don't know, like the sort of like storytelling of Half-Life where it doesn't have cutscenes. It's all done through how you just interact with the world. And it would have like the exploration of like Metroid, where there's multiple ways to solve a puzzle. Also, you feel like you're breaking the game if you find a shortcut, but it was all like intentional. I really enjoy that feeling in that game of having tons of different ways to solve like Super Metroid. You can beat in reverse, like you can go in a reverse order and it still works, like without really using any glitches. Like, it's practical. It's really hard to do, but it's practical. Which, like, I want to make a game like that. That interests the hell out of me, is a game like that. But that's the sort of game I want to make. If I did anything. Any mods you can suggest? Spyro and Half-Life is pretty cool. I would recommend, if you wanted to get into Half-Life modding, there's They Hunger. There's also like Savin Co-op if you want to do multiplayer. Like, as far as like sort of like Half-Life universe-based ones, Half-Life Echoes is a really good mod that came out recently. There's I don't know, like I should make a list of good Half-Life mods because there's so many good ones, but they just get shrouded with just garbage because there's so much of that as well. So I sleep. Good night. Oh, good night, Guardian. But I don't know. I might make a list. There's a lot of good Half-Life mods. Go on ModDB. Go to the mod section for Half-Life. Select like rating. Filter it by rating, and then just select mods from there because the rating system is pretty fair. A lot of the mods at the top deserve the top rank. It's not very biased. I'll say that. So, who can get in contact with Enar South? I don't know how to pronounce that.
Einar Sakas?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's one of the guys who worked on They Hunger, and that did not end up working at all.
think he has not responded to anything then. I don't believe that's the guy that responded to Jack when he messaged him. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no. I tried contacting him multiple times.
We tried to contact him because they have a version of the Half-Life SDK that has more sources than the one that we have, because they had the scientist sources in their version of the SDK or something, because they had the textures to it to modify. They also must have had the beta zombie textures because those were in there, because they put them on some of the They Hunger textures. So that was a reason we contacted them. And, well, I didn't contact them, but other people did. And it never happened. They're gone. They've moved on with their lives. So, interested in other betas? I've always, like, beta 64s are always interested in me. Like, beta, like, Super Mario 64, beta Mario World. The beta of Quake and Duke Nukem is also really interesting. Like, just kind of cool to see what they did. Because at the time, they were exploring new technology with those. Like, Quake was
going to release the Duke Nukem 3D betas a while back, but you know.
Oh yeah, Gearbox was like
Yep.
a piece of shit, and they held on to that because they suck. Gearbox used to be cool, but you know, it's not 1999 anymore. I feel like I've missed questions. It's been moving quite a bit. will you save the stream on your channel? This stream will be on the channel, and it shouldn't be taken down by copyright. The last one was because I made a bad choice of playing. What did we play last time, Spud?
Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin. Okay, a lot of the music I play is copyrighted, but it's not the copyrighted music that will actually disable it from working. It's just like I won't make revenue, but I don't have revenue on YouTube anyways because it's pointless, because making 30 cents a month is stupid. So I just disable it. You know, I don't care if I get a copyright like thing and they get all the revenue. I don't give a shit. But when I played Led Zeppelin, it disabled the video from being allowed to play at all, and they were going to give me a strike if I didn't take it down. So I had to remove it. So, yeah, so don't play Led Zeppelin. They, for some reason, freak the fuck out about that. I don't know why. I don't know why they can't just collect the royalties like every other artist does and just be done with it. Playing game music's cool, but I just don't have a library. I should get some. I just don't. I don't know. I like listening to, I don't know, the music I listen to usually when I stream. Because, like, what you guys are hearing in the stream is what I'm listening to. I don't, like, separate channels and, like, have my own music. I don't know. I should get some video game tracks. There's a lot of good video game tracks that I like to listen to. I also have some really nice ambient tracks from, like, Stellar Drone, which had a track feature in the Spyro mod, because he's a very open source guy that allows people to use his music copyright free, which is really nice of him. Plug Stellar Drone, check him out. Makes really good sci-fi sounding music. Really enjoy it. I go to sleep. Okay, so goodbye, Jeremy. Glad to have you here. Thanks for the questions also. I don't know if there's any other questions. I think... Any other questions? I think we're wrapping towards the end of them. I mean, we've been going for an hour and 17 minutes. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
If I was... Okay, like, if I wanted to do revenue, like, if I wanted to get money for doing what I do, I would do, like, a Patreon where it's by choice, and by giving me revenue, I would give something back. But I don't believe I have a following to where I'd be making any money. I don't see making money out of this being a thing really yet. Yeah, I don't know. I might ask people about like doing a Patreon and if they would support it, but I don't need money. I have a job. Like, I don't need people's finances. Like, I'm very capable of working for what I get normally. I mean, extra money on the side wouldn't, be bad, but, I don't know. I'm very good at financially planning stuff, so I wasn't ever worried about making ad revenue. I did it for the fun of it, and that's it. It's a thing to do. Yeah, okay, that's my rant on AdSense. What made you interested in gold source modding? That's a good question, because I played like Doom and Quake first. Like, I played Wolfenstein, Doom, Quake way before Half-Life. But for some reason I chose Half-Life as like the modding engine. I don't know what it was. I guess it's just because of the tools available, and I think I guess in my mind, modding Doom seemed a little like weird because of how like Doom renders, like a raster, and you edit maps through a top-down view. I was like, whoa, what is this? I'm not sure what this is. So I got into Half-Life modding because it seemed a little bit easier, and I mean, that's about it. I don't know. I just wanted to make mods, really bad mods at first, but I wanted to make them. Anybody else? You guys can answer that.
What was the question?
What got you into gold source modding? I think that's a good one for everybody.
Beta got me into gold source modding because originally I, back in 2011, I was working on beta mod stuff related to Mario and 64, and then I heard about Half-Life beta content, and I started actually getting into beta stuff related to Half-Life, and they kind of kicked my knowledge of Gold Source into gear. And then I joined Shaft, and I started like getting really fluent in the engine.
Woo.
For me, I saw everyone making mods, and I just thought, hey, I want to make mods too. So I got Wally and started making reskins of scientists to make them look like Hellraiser Cenobites.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Yeah, I think mine was I saw mods and I was like, oh, I want to do maps, but I sucked at it, so I didn't make maps. I literally started as that guy that did like MS Paint edits because I didn't even know how to index a texture, which is why
I think everyone did.
Okay, that's. And I'm going to mention this. A lot of people love to give a bad rap to, like, early modders. Like, when they first show up and they do, like, MS Paint edits and stuff like that. And, I mean, yeah, it's really bad. But, like, everybody pretty much starts there. Like, I don't feel like it's completely in the right.
It's different now because...
even with all the tools that exist and all the resources, a lot of them don't know they even exist. Like, there's people that'll message me that are new to modding, like, hey, I'm, like, new to it. Like, how do you do this or do this? And I'll point to, like, the 303's website. I'll point to the whole Half-Life's website. And they'll be like, oh, I never heard of these. I'm like, and that's why. I feel like if people could find it easier, maybe they would start on a better foot. But, I mean, I feel like some of the slack people get is a little much. Like, if somebody makes an MS Paint thing, it's like, oh, hey, that can improve. But I don't believe you should just go in and be like, this is, like, garbage shit, please die. Like, I feel like that's just a little too much. If they're not being blatantly, like, a troll, then, I feel like you don't have to be as heavily, like, mean about it. Just my thing. Spud, how'd you get into Half-Life modding? I actually don't know.
I don't even remember. I just did Half-Life 2 modding at first.
Oh, damn it. So his story's a mystery. The story's a mystery, and it was probably the one I really wanted to know. Damn. There's another question somewhere, I think. Do you really? Okay, wait. Okay, so it was
I think it involved beta as well. I certainly tried making some beta scientist reskins that were recompiled to the point where you can certainly see the black seams from all the model being compiled.
Okay. Yep. Do you think that gaming has been in the slumps of not fun games? What stories do you... I've noticed as of recently, and this has been a thing, the indie scene is very much booming with a lot of original ideas. There's a lot of duplicates in the indie scene. I mean, that it's not a fucking excuse like, oh, it's the perfect fucking savior of gaming. But a lot of indie games have really been taking off, and they're really good. The AAA market has just become this corporatized, over-the-top, like, movie production, all the same shit sort of thing. Like, I just noticed where they treat video games like movies now. They don't answer questions like they used to anymore. It's all behind hidden walls, and they give you non-answers, and every game, like Zero Punctuation said it. There was a point where every first-person shooter coming out was a freaking brown dude in space shooting an alien. It's been like that for, like, fucking 10 years. And then it was modern FPSs everywhere. Like, everything's going to be modern. Fucking Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
There was a game called Medal of Honor Warfighter. Like, that was its fucking name. I can't believe they named it that. Like, that... Like, I don't know. I think as of recent, that whole sort of trend's going away. But, I think there's a thing now with just remakes happening now. There's just been this influx of remakes and remasters. Like, because there's a Spyro remake, there's a Crash remake, whatever. There's now the Warcraft remake, there's the Medieval remake, there's a remastering of... Shit, I forgot. There's like 3 other...
I think it makes more sense than remaking movies because video games can age more poorly than...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm fully behind, like, games that get a remaster and a remake. Like, Warcraft 3 getting a remake, that's cool. I wish Dungeon Siege got a remaster, at least. Like, I would love a remake, but a remaster would be fine. Because that game literally doesn't run anymore. Like, it doesn't run right on modern Windows. The networking for it, like to do online play, is dead. Like, it doesn't work. And the only way to play it properly now is to have a CD version of the game, which is becoming harder and harder to get. So I would love if that game got updated to run on like modern systems. Like that definitely needs it. And there's also older games like Super Mario 64 looks really old and crusty. Like a remake of that would be great. Because, you know, I think it deserves one. Like, yeah, I think... Huh? I would love an N64 version with some of the aspects from the DS remake as well. Like, I think if they sort of hybrid together those two, they could make a really good game. Because the DS added quite a lot that I enjoyed. But they also changed stuff that I hated. I wasn't too fond about having to swap out characters all the time to get fucking power-ups. I mean, I love being able to play as other characters, but... I don't know, they just became a wall of... Now I have to leave the level, go to another, go to that fucking room, switch out the character, and go back to doing what I was doing. It was kind of annoying. But, yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree with that. I think remakes for games is a lot better than remakes for movies. Remakes for movies seem kind of pointless. If the movie was great, why? If the movie was made in, like, 1999, why is it being, like, remade now? What, like... Is it really that out of date now? Anyway, there was another question. In particular, I found Red Dead... Or what mods you made before Spyro? Well, the first mod I made was Half-Life Redux. Like the first sort of thing I officially ever put online anywhere. That was me trying to fix up Half-Life and make it look cool. It wasn't very good. I just sort of took the Savin weapons and some other stuff and... sort of mangled together some slightly, maybe better looking weapons. I used that detail textures effect to sort of make the textures look higher quality. But the problem is the maps couldn't change. So it just was like HD textures and really low quality maps.
Yep.
And my skills at the time were nothing. Like I didn't know how to really program, so I didn't know how to do anything. I had a friend doing most of it. And when he was, like, not interested in doing it anymore, that was, like... I don't know, it wasn't great. I also made beta mods, which sucked. I didn't know what I was doing either. Like, I legitimately didn't know how to do anything. However, I will say, I knew some aspects of the beta, like, based on my own perspective of seeing the rooms, that the Quiver team messaged me and they're like, no, this isn't accurate. These are test rooms. No, these aren't this. And then we found out later with the alpha leak that they were in the campaign and they were wrong because they didn't know what the hell they were talking about. I don't know. Anyways, that was another rant.
Quiver was a shame.
Quiver was a joke. We got the source code to Quiver and it shows how much they didn't do. That mod was dead on arrival. That mod had nothing to it. They were hiding behind that SDK. Like having the SDK, like being able to go into 3DS and extract the old models, that's all they had. And they didn't want to tell anybody that. Because if they told people, that's the end of the mod. They didn't know anything else. They didn't have a working HUD ever.
What they had more than anyone else were some screenshots because they had Barnes on the team.
Yeah, they had some screenshots. That was it. They never had a working HUD. Never worked. That green HUD never really worked right. It was also incorrectly created. But anyways, that was kind of... Ever played Looney Tunes Sheep Raider? No. I have not. No, I've not played that game. Is it good? I don't know that. Oh, here's another one. I have finished the demo of the mod and loved it. After this... Any plans for Spyro Pill Pack for a workshop port? Since I mean, I said like I don't really know how to do Gmod add-ons, so I don't know if I would do a pill. If somebody wanted to, if somebody,
it's all Lua and it's quite a mess.
Yeah, it's all Lua. I don't really know how to do that. I don't really want to learn it either. Like there's other things I'd rather do first. If somebody wants to do a Spyro Pill Pack and they need animations, I am like happy to let you use them. Like you can use the Spyro rig in the animations. I don't have a problem with that. But I'm not gonna code the pill pack. Somebody else can do that. That'd be cool if somebody did. I would love to have like a Spyro pill in Lua's boneless C++, yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, so if anybody's gonna make a pill pack for Spyro, that'd be cool. I'd love to do that. I'd love to run around in Spyro and Gmod. That'd be interesting. Like just for the hell of it. So yeah, somebody go do that. Why not make a Spore-inspired game that has a
spores
like adventures right off the bat, crappy handling?
That would be impossible, pretty much.
It would be impossible, but I was never really a fan of Spore past the character develop, like the little creature maker.
Yeah, the only thing I liked about Spore is I'd make super ridiculous. Like I would go over to a friend's house when we would have all-nighters, and we would all boot up a copy of Spore, and we would just make these ridiculous, stupid fucking character evolutions, and like we look like fucking abominations, and all we'd do is join servers and like attack each other and shit. Like that was fun, but I mean that was the only appeal of the game. I did not ever play that game solo. It was all about fucking around with friends. I don't know how anybody played that seriously, to be honest.
My sister's obsessed with Spore.
I'm surprised it's still pretty. Like that game's still going. Like there's still like people playing it pretty good.
We should stream Simpsons Hit and Run.
Wait, what?
We should stream Simpsons Hit and Run one day.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mods. There's a big mod community for that.
For Simpsons,
really? That's
for Simpsons Hit and Run?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm happy to hear that. It's just a surprise.
I didn't even know that exists. I mean, I never really looked into that, like the Simpsons games, like as like a modding thing. It's always that thing where if a game isn't very like, I always feel like besides like sort of Valve and Quake and stuff like that, I feel like a lot of games aren't as unlocked to modding. Like they encrypt everything in files and bake it all, so it's like hard to get to. So I never thought about that. I mean, that'd be interesting. We should do that. That'd be cool. I mean, I actually, huh?
Do you have a copy?
Oh, I would have to get a copy. It wouldn't be hard. I could get a copy. I don't feel like that'd be hard. I want to get a version of GTA San Andreas so we could try the multiplayer and fuck around in that. I bet that would be really fun. Like I think us and like GTA San Andreas would be hilarious, and I want to try that at some point. Just need to get a copy of the game. I might get the Steam one. I don't know. Any things planned for Spyro's combat? I do want to finish his moveset. Like I do want to get the swimming in properly because I had to take it out for the mod because it was kind of poo. I want to get the horn dive in, obviously. I want to get his special abilities. Like I do want to get flying in just so it's like it's there. There is flying. I don't know what I would do with it, but I want to get it in. I do want to get in like the supercharge, the like super flame. His invincibility power-ups are easy to do. Like that's a given. I do want to try multiple breaths, like an ice breath and stuff. I don't know if I'd ever incorporate it into the mod. I might just leave them in there for people to fuck around with. But I don't see enough of a sort of appeal of us like doing that. What about NPCs' reactions to these attacks? I never did any animations for NPCs like dying to flame. I didn't think about it. I kind of want to, but
we need enemies that have the shields that you can't burn.
I have a plan to sort of make it so not every enemy dies in one hit. Like I want because there's enemies I put in the game that like the alien grunts, like the big bulky ones for people that don't know, they can't be charged. Like they're too big to be charged. So I do have some enemies that can't be attacked both ways. They have a specific way of being attacked. However, I don't have a way of getting the NPCs to take multiple hits before going down, because there's a few in Spyro that do require a rhythm to taking them down. Like there's multiple things you have to do to get to them and to defeat them. And I sort of have an idea, and I do want to do that. Like I do want to put like a sort of armor on the Vortigaunts to where you might have to break a shield or something. Like you might have to charge them to like break some sort of like force field sort of thing that they emit, and then you can flame them. Do something like that, which would be interesting. Or I could make it like to where I could re-enable the Vortigaunts resurrecting, which was a cut feature from the game where Vortigaunts could sort of basically CPR another Vortigaunt and resurrect one, which would be annoying as fuck, but I think it makes it interesting.
It was in Shaft, and boy,
yeah, you could get
a lot more scarier.
You could get fucking wrecked. Also, we have the animations for Vortigaunts being resurrected now, thanks to a leak of the cinematics. So the Vortigaunts actually do like get back up instead of just respawning like they did originally. Well, the thing about alien controllers is they fly, so getting to them is already annoying. Flying enemies in Spyro is bad. You would have to completely rework how they function, because if they just fly off, what the fuck do you do? Any plans for mapping dev streams for Year of the Dragon? I do want to do more mapping streams. If people are interested in watching them, I do want to. I have some developer streams, and I want to do more. It's just the first mapping developer stream I did for Spyro got taken down because I played Led Zeppelin. That stream is the one where I mapped and made a mistake. Don't do that. Don't play Led Zeppelin. Reiterating, don't do that. That's bad. Don't play Led Zeppelin ever. They don't exist. As much as you want to hear like the fucking immigrant song. Fucking dun 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 dun, copyright. Actually, I'm kind of afraid of just making the noises, because that copyright bot with YouTube will like copyright claim covers and stuff that don't even use the same instruments. Like I saw a piano remix of the song get taken down. I was like,
good lord!
I was like, it's a fucking cover on a piano. Like, is that really that infringing? Is a cover really infringing? I feel like covers are legally allowed, because you can buy cover albums, like, legally on the internet. Like, they exist. The first, like, Iron Maiden album I ever bought was a cover album, which was sold at Walmart. Like, I bought it from a Walmart. Like, you can't, like, if it was illegal, it wouldn't be there.
I think that's just the automated system. I remember there being a Fortnite like trailer being taken down by Epic Games, even though that was the trailer that they made.
Yeah, or when the Warner Brothers website got taken down by Warner Brothers, because that happened. Yeah, So lesson learned: copyright Autobots are retarded, and they should not exist. And it needs to be a case by case system, because when it's automatic, it takes down fair use all the fucking time. But YouTube won't ever do that because they suck. They should just get rid of that copyright thing. Nobody gives a fuck. I think South Park already covered this whole issue of copyright like 10 years ago with that one episode about them illegally downloading music on iTunes. The whole satire and parody is that illegal downloading has such a little effect to their sales that it literally is pointless. Like, and now if somebody like on YouTube had their video stolen, that, like, okay, that, you know, like if you're a smaller person, I can see it, but there's a point where you're so big and like you have so much money and it's so big, it doesn't matter.
Every game I've pirated other than Duke Nukem Forever, or a game that is no longer sold on the streets, you know, I've bought. You know,
that's okay. So there was a thing.
I pirated Eyes of Heaven because I did not have a PS4, so I played it on emulator first, and then when I got a PS4, I bought the game on a PS4.
Yeah, when Spyro Myth Awakens got taken down, or Myths Awaken, when it got taken down, there was a point during some argument where a guy brought up copyright, and like it was copyright and oh fuck, I've like lost my train of thought. Oh shit.
Okay. Yeah.
What was I? Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say.
You're talking about copyright with the Spyro Myth Awakens.
Yeah. It was pertaining to somebody brought up a thing with with piracy. Okay, yeah, we're on piracy. And they were saying something like if a game isn't sold, like it was about Nintendo and them taking down like ROMs and stuff. Like it just spread to that. And there was a point where they brought up like it doesn't matter if the game's dead Like, if there's no way to obtain the game besides obtaining like a rare copy on eBay, it's still illegal to pirate it. I'm like, but that's the thing. Is it really that, like, I know it's illegal, but that's
that big of a deal when
it's so fucking like
when it's not possible to bring the company any money.
Yeah, but isn't it morally wrong?
At that point, it's just petty.
Yeah, but that's like morally wrong to take down, like with these ROM sites being taken down. Like, I feel like it's morally wrong to, like, okay, to remove like a game like Super Mario Brothers, like the NES game. Okay, yeah, remove that. Yeah, you can easily get the game. Fuck it.
Ross Scott had a good
Yeah, I was gonna mention it. Ross Scott in Game Dungeon, he brings up two like talks about copyright, and they're both really amazing. And if anybody wants to hear his voice on it, you should look it up. He does it in his Carnival playthrough, and he also does it in his video game catch up series 2, where he does his like
with Carnival.
Yeah, it has Carnival because he brings it up again just to clarify some things he didn't cover.
I had to play the game because the only way to get it was to buy a real cabinet for
like $3.
Yeah. They don't release the cabinets. Don't even exist of that game anymore, and it was never ported to any home console. So
yeah, like either you buy a cabinet for $3,000 or you just don't have the game because the company.
You buy a cabinet, but you buy a cabinet. May I add, not from the company.
Yeah, it's resale.
Selling it.
Yeah, that's why it's
a reseller.
That's why Ross said essentially, if the company making the game is no longer selling it, they are no longer profiting from it, or they are debunked, like they don't exist anymore, so nobody's getting the royalties, there's no rights to it anymore, it's like up in the air, he thinks piracy should be allowed, and I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The people who developed Carnival are not going to ask for royalties from a guy selling it on eBay.
Like,
they don't exist anymore, by the way.
Yeah, there's a game I have hosted on my like old archive website, which is a sort of like strategy, tactical, sort of like mission-based shooting game called Incoming by Rage Software. Rage went out of business in 2001, and nobody has the copyrights to the game. Nobody's printing the game. Nobody's selling the game. So I found a full copy of the game, like a full version, because there was tons of demos of it that came out, because it came with graphics cards, and that's what most copies of the games are, is just the demo version and not the full one. I got a hold of the full version and I put it up on the internet because it's fucking abandonware.
Yeah.
Nobody, like, it's really hard to find the full copy. So I was like, I'm going to do a justice.
The only reason I understand people trying to hold copyrights on old games is if you're Nintendo and you've decided that you're going to consistently regurgitate the game in new forms.
Yeah, but somebody even
consoles that people don't own sometimes.
Yeah, but people even brought up Nintendo. Nintendo sits on like a chunk of games they won't re-release.
Yeah,
that you can't
that's the
get.
Thing. I'm not saying that that's even a good action. Trying to hold games hostage because you have plans to like re-release them somehow in some sort of odd way.
Yeah.
It requires a like metric ton of money that you would not have to spend to just play the game.
Huh.
Or buy the game for yourself, It's silly.
Freaking John.
I get what they're saying, oh, well, we're going to do Virtual Console of Mario 64, so please don't pirate the ROM. That's great. But you know what? Some people don't own a Wii anymore, or any console with Virtual Console.
Yeah. Freaking John says he has a copy of Carnival. I've not seen a physical copy of that game. Like
there's a
cabinet.
physical copy of Carnival.
He said, well, a cabinet.
A cabinet. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's really hard to find. I couldn't find any at any like sort of arcade places I know around here.
There was only one I knew about, and I actually went there recently to see, and it was not there. Not like recent, but I
don't know how to pronounce your name. CFTSC. What do you mean? Wasn't he planning some sort of legal action on that? Like, what do you mean? Exactly. Like, are you talking about with the Mists Awaken? Because no, he was not doing. He complied and he started his own game, which has been far more successful than when it was a Spyro game. Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's worked out for him. A lot of people wanted a lot of people want Cyrides to fucking like die for some reason. Like they want him to just fail, and I think it's hilarious that he's been more successful making it into an original game than a fucking Spyro thing. Oh, I don't know. Okay. Oh. No, I don't know anything about Ross with legal actions. I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, no. I never heard anything about that, but I don't know him that well or anything.
Okay. Could you ask the question again? I'm sorry if I missed it. Some of them were scrolling and we've gone on like tangents, so just ask the question again. We'll read it. I mean, it's the chat's slowed down, so you're welcome to ask again. We're gonna keep this going until people. I should have made a third like thing for the screen to change to, which is just called bitching for when we go on tangents.
Yeah.
Are any of the Spyro enemies or other Spyro characters going to be in the mod? As far as like the Half-Life crossover part, besides like maybe the Professor and Sparks, probably not. Just because I don't really have a use for them, nor do I really think they would fit. Like, I sort of have a way of getting Spyro into the world, but I don't know how the rest of them would show up, really. Like, it would take a lot of changes, and I don't know, the more characters I add, the more sketchy and questionable the whole thing becomes. So I don't know about that. As far as like the sort of Quake story, like crossover sort of thing I want to do, I think the story in my head involves Spyro, Sparks, Alora kind of, and maybe just sort of some of the dragons from the original like first game in his homeworld, but again, the main focus would just be Spyro. I really don't like. I wouldn't write in secondary character. Like I really wouldn't use secondary characters that much because you'd have to get voices and stuff like that. And I don't really like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really good at writing a Spyro story. That's not really my thing. I like the games, but I'm not much of a writer for that. I'm more of a first-person shooter, sci-fi sort of dude. Spyro and fantasy and all that's just not a thing I'm super great at.
I like FPSs. I like robot combat games, which are only in the single digits.
Well, that's a good question. Will Spyro ever meet Gordon Freeman? I've never thought of that, actually. I'm not going to answer that. I'm gonna keep that in my mind, and I'm going to think about it, and I'm going to do something involving that. So I'm sorry, I won't answer that question. But I haven't. I'll. Your question's not lost on me. I'll do something about it. I have an idea. So good for you. You just like submitted something. Actually, it's kind of like the guy that submitted the name of the mod Year of the Dragon. Somebody said when the tweet blew up and got like the original tweet got really popular. Somebody's like, "What would you name the mod?" And somebody said Half-Life Year of the Dragon, and I was just like, That's it. You've named it. Because keeping Spyro out of the title is probably the saving grace of copyright.
Oh yeah.
Putting Spyro in the title would be like a death warrant.
It just means they like they're bots.
Yeah, because
quote unquote, don't look for it.
Yeah, like having Spyro, like not having Spyro in the title puts me under a little bit of a safety wall because I really avoid, like I'm saying his name a whole bunch in the stream. But as far as the marketing of the mod goes, oh God, fucking calling it marketing. Anyways, that's what it is. But it's how whatever. How I advertise the mod is I really avoid saying his name because if I avoid it, they really can't. I'm not really using. I'm not throwing the name out there for them to get all pissy about. It keeps them disconnected from interfering on Reignited somehow. Oh God, just the idea that this would interfere with Reignited.
Yeah, it's silly, but they gotta make sure that nothing at all can.
Well, yeah, they need to make sure nothing interferes because they're about to have a fucking whiplash when people see how unfinished, like how sort of crusty the third game is. Because oh God, I know I'm going on like a Spyro thing now, but have you guys seen the no competition? Yeah, dude, they took down Miss Awakened because it was competing with Reignited. They don't want it to interfere. Said it in the letter. That's actually stupid. But
hey, that's kind of like that's a bit.
That's a little bit. That's
a bit of a. It's kind of an honor if you think about it. When
they were afraid of
like,
you.
She was like, "We're a little afraid you're gonna ruin all of our a lot of our business. Could you just not?"
I know this is like Spyro, but if anybody in the chat is actually gonna play Reignited, I have a good suspicion the third game's gonna be really fucking crusty.
Hey, it was the same with the Crash remake.
Dude,
the second part, it got very crusty.
Yeah, you should you need to frame that. You've mentioned that before, sorry, Reedies. You should really go through and just frame that and have it as a badge of honor. But yeah, so when some people in the Spyro community, I'm going to say quote unquote pillars, because that's sort of what they're trying to become, and I absolutely hate the idea.
To know that every
community has pillars.
Has to strive to get pillars.
Dude, I love how every community just has to have these people that are like represent.
The community couldn't just be held up by the people. It has to. Someone's got to be the one that holds it up real strong.
Okay, I have like 2 stories I want to talk about this Spyro thing. It's like this is gonna be venting hour. But like so some people went to go play the Spyro demo. There's some people that went that I'm more fond of than others. I think like some of them should have went. Like I'm fine with them going. I think they're far more genuine as a person. But they went to play the game, and they came back and they showed a footage. It wasn't really about them. It's just the footage they got, and they got to play a level from the third game called Dino Mines, which is a late level in the game. So it's a late game level.
Mm-hmm.
It plays okay, but there's some fucking issues. Oh, good night, Wireless. But there was some fucking issues. There was a point where Sparks just stopped going after gems. Like he was there, but he just didn't go after them. There's a point where he didn't go after the butterflies, even though he was injured. Like, that's kind of a functional problem. He needs to go after the gems and the butterflies for the game to work. Him avoiding them is a problem. But also, the camera during like transitions where it goes from Spyro's like sort of following Spyro to like an NPC, like for the cutscene, like talking, interacting with him, it would fidget and freak out, and like the FOV would like distort sometimes. There was a point where like it went into the void, like it went to like the skybox and immediately like zoomed back out. Like I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, how is it this like unstable? Because they released footage yesterday of another level and the camera's working fine. So like, what the fuck? Like what? Like, is this game going to be that inconsistent? Because I'm thinking it is. And the problem is, mentioning this just starts a fucking like crusade of people that want you dead for like having a problem with the game. Like it's, and I'm not saying the game's going to be bad. I think the game will be fine, but it's not going to be perfect. It's going to have some fucking flaws. Same as Crash Insane. It's going to have some fucking flaws. I'm not going to say it's the worst game. It's definitely not. It's definitely going to be just an alright, fine game, but like, damn. Like, there's some crust to it. There's probably another thing I was going to go on about, but I forgot again. It's like late at night. I don't know. Anybody else got anything to talk about? Any other questions, actually? Anybody got a question since we're on this fucking, like, this tangent rampage right now? I actually do want to talk about more about Reignited, because there's so much to talk about with that game. The new Spyro community. Dude, I'm just saying the Spyro community is done what the Valve community has done. It is split, where, like, kind of like with Artifact and, like, Dota versus the, like, Half-Life part of the Valve community. There's, like, a split where there's all these people that support the game and will die to support it. And then there's people that are absolutely hating the game and they want it to fail. And then there's like that middle ground where there's people that are just like, the game's not great, it's got problems, but whatever. And it's just this like conglomerate mess of just shit going on, and I don't know why I got into the community, but it's been a ride.
I don't know why you would want the game to fail, considering it's.
I don't want the game to fail. I mean,
to see the franchise ever have any continuation.
Well,
Shaft,
like,
not happen.
Like I want to like the game. The game has problems, but I don't want to see it fail. I think it'll be fine, and that's like a genuine thing. That's not me changing the thing. Like, there's problems with the game, but I don't see it having so many problems that I can't. Like, it's unplayable. Like, I don't think it's that, but I mean, I will say, as far as like the creative liberties Toys for Bob has made with Reignited, as I mentioned it before in like the Spyro Discord, I think they have a dartboard in the office and they throw a dart, and if it's a bullseye, it's 100% faithful, and if it lands anywhere on the board, it's a percentage of accurate, like, faithfulness, because their executive decisions on changing stuff is the most inconsistent thing I've ever seen. Like, Black Mesa Source had some inconsistencies, but they were pretty trying to stay at the core, a Half-Life remake. But Jesus Christ, this fucking Toys for Bob is all over the place, and they've outsourced a good portion of the game as well, which only creates inconsistencies worse. I think there's. You notice how enemies are slug. Dude, yeah, there's some.
I'm clocking out.
Sorry. Good night.
Okay, good. Good night, Sergeant.
I might be back later, but I'm sure the stream will be over by then.
We might be wrapping up soon. Most questions have kind of ended. This is kind of just a tangent.
But it was fun to talk to all you guys, and yeah.
So everybody, while Brody goes, tell him he's fat.
No.
Yeah, type out.
I'm not fat.
Sergeant Headcrab's fat. Type it out.
I'm getting out of here. If I get out of here, I'll never know that I was fat.
Everybody, type it out anyways. I'm going to show it to him. I'll screen cap it. Oh. Okay. Fat. There you go. I'm going to screen cap it. All right. Well, he's got 2 fats. Still counts. I don't think there's much else to talk about. I mean, I could go on a tangent forever, but I think there's a point where I gotta let that part go, because I don't think everybody here is interested in that. If nobody else has any hey, Magic Nipples, if TF2 ever were planned to make a single-player campaign mode, adventure, or open world, what would the plot probably be about? I don't know. Like, I don't know what they would do. I'm not super fond of TF2. Like, I'm not super fond about it. I played it, but like, I don't know what they would do. They'd probably do some kind of sort of like not lighthearted. They'd probably have some sort of self-aware sort of story thing. I don't know. I don't know what they would do. I mean, if they did a campaign, they could probably make it interesting, but I don't see it being anything more than just like how you have the, what the hell is that system in TF2? The contracts. I don't see it being any different. It'd just be that, but with like a cutscene. I mean, my heart with TF2 is the original TF2 when it was Brotherhood of Arms, and it was going to be a modern military sort of shooter, but back in like 1998 and 9, like 1999, a modern military shooter that's like the same sort of complexity as like Battlefield is now. Like, that would have been great, but they didn't do it. They canned.
I prefer the steampunk.
Oh, the Invasion? That was also good. I wish they stayed with TF2 Invasion as well, but they also threw that away. Like Valve always fucking does.
Space one around the time.
Is Spyro going to wear the HEV suit? I do want him to wear an HEV suit in Zen. I think it'd be nice. I'll have to make a model for it, but I mean, it's not too bad. I actually do want to do I might post it on my Twitter, but I do want to make like a sort of low poly reignited Spyro model. Like, I want to try one. I don't know how it's going to go. It might suck ass and be shit. Who knows? I want to try something. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But if I do like a HEV Super Spyro, I'll post it on there. And I'll post in the Discord, and I'll probably post in the Spyro Discord as well. So if you're in any of those things, I don't know. So, Spud, did you draw those things or whatever you're doing?
Yeah.
Did you post them?
Yeah.
Fuck it, I saw in the chat. Oh, where'd you post them?
Posted them in chat.
Oh, there they are. Let's get the art going. Let's get the art going. Let's tab the. Oh my god, he's got big nose. What is this second one based on?
Nothing.
You just what the fuck? Oh god, there's so many. Oh god, I got like profiles forever now. Okay. There's so many. Oh my god, I'm still scrolling. Oh my god.
There's another one too.
Okay, hang on. I gotta get all these open. Guys, don't leave just yet. There's there's things happening. There's art. There's really good art by Spud here, and I think people need to see this. So let's go to the scene. Let's go to the here. So I guess we'll start with this one. There you go, long nose. That's the Spyro I know. We got this. Who is that in the tractor?
I don't know.
Don't even
I was literally just drawing.
Daffy Duck or something.
No
I don't
planning.
know.
Yeah. He's got that bill going.
Yeah. Okay. We got a nice scream from Spyro. It's really good. Very nice. He's yell. He yell.
He is yell.
We got. I don't know. I don't know
He's
how.
kind of weird looking.
Yeah, he's really weird looking. He's making like an interesting face, where his like entire face just kind of falls down in the second one. Big teeth.
Like a dog.
Fucking like, yeah, iron jaw. That might be like my profile for a while. I really like that. There you go. Getting bit by
Bear trap.
bear trap. Yeah.
These are great.
All right, there we go. This is all concept art for Year of the Dragon. I don't know what it's for, but there you go. Let's go back to the Q&A thing real quick. And what did? Hope these will be in the mod somewhere. Oh yeah, I could totally make them decals. Put them somewhere.
Gmad, I use GIMP.
Making low poly versions of RT. Yeah, I kind of want to do some low poly reignited. Like I do want to try a low poly reignited Spyro, and maybe an Allura, but I don't know. Well, I can't say I'm really fond of that character enough to really care. I don't like Hunter either, so I'm not doing that. I don't know. I might only do Spyro. I don't even know if it'll be good. Who knows? It'll be a experience. Any other? How about glasses? Why not? How about the glasses? Why not do the skateboarding? I don't know if I could do the skateboarding. I don't know if that would work very well in Gold Source because of how the geometry isn't very smooth. I don't know if skateboarding would work very well. I mean, I could try it, but I don't know if skateboarding's gonna work. Maybe. What art program does Spud use? Gmad says.
GIMP.
There you go. GIMP. Didn't expect GIMP. Have you considered? Well, like I'm not gonna replace the HEV suit with Sparks. I would just put Sparks like in the game. The HEV suit technically doesn't exist anymore. You spawn with everything enabled. Like there's not really a suit. Such as like originally in the first version of the mod, you were technically holding a Glock that was modified to be the Fire Breath, but I've pretty much just turned it into a Fire Breath weapon. Like it doesn't use any of the Glock code anymore. So, like, it's sort of evolved. However, I will say the player is still just a permanently ducked Gordon. Like that hasn't changed. Yeah. You're just Gordon, but always ducked. Because height.
The B-boxes are embedded into the map.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, technically, I could change it now since I have map sources, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it ducked. Like that. It works fine. That way, the default maps work, you know. Windows 98 paint. Oh, God. That's crusty as hell. Paint has
People prefer that over the Windows 7 one.
No, Windows 7 paint's not that great, to be honest. Windows 98 Paint's what is what Ringo Starr used for most of his art.
Yeah.
Which is oh god, his Ringo Starr art is.
Show that while I'm trying to draw.
Okay, let's
I want to draw one more picture for the stream.
Okay. Let's go to ringostarart.com. I mean, I imagine some people have seen it. It like thanks to Game Grumps, it is like a really popular thing now. But if you guys want to look up some like just some art, it's something. There we go. There we go. Look, there we go. We got
your baby.
Just you can buy this for $1,800. $1,800. Look at these look at these prices. $3,800 for your baby. That's I didn't even see these prices. This is new.
I like the one called Ooh Man.
Whoa. He has seen. What the fuck? I can't believe it is charging this much for the art. That's... I wouldn't pay him anything. Well, the art gets cheaper. $5,000 for like him in MS Paint or something. Yeah,
so bizarre.
I noticed his art has like kind of become sort of sophisticated. Like, yeah, it's a lot less just sort of him just kind of finicking around. Well, I guess not. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go back to the Q&A thing again. Just to mask my computer. So as I can read the comments again, if there's any. You know... it was, well, how will scientists and NPCs address Spyro? They will say Spyro, because Kevin, or the voice actor for, you know, Cornet there is very... He's fine with doing more lines. Kevin is very busy, so I don't know if he will be. So as far as the Barney lines are concerned, I don't know. But I should be good with the scientist lines. As long as I'm not, like, making so many. Like, I need so many records that he has no time. I should be fine, you know. Like, I think he'll be fine with that. How do I get in on this shit? I don't know. Be in the Beatles. Yeah, I guess if you're famous enough, you can make literally anything and sell it and people will buy it. Hey, Magic Nipples. What is your favorite level in the original Spyro trilogy? Oh my god, you asked that question. I'm always a person that remembers the early game levels a lot more than late game. Like, if I had... Okay, so as far as like pure like nostalgia, like as a kid, I grew up with this. I played Spyro 3 first. So I'm going to pick Spyro 3 as like my game for the original level. Like that is my favorite. And it is probably going to be between... Reddy's Pitchfork. It's probably going to be between Sunny Villa or Cloud Spires. I said they're really early game, but
there it is.
I remember them the most out of any level. Like and it's like as an impact. Like the music of Sunny Villa and Cloud Spires, like I love the music. You know, like love the level design. Yeah, both good levels. Spyro 2, that's a good question. I don't know. A lot of Spyro 2 levels are pretty alright. Can't really say I hated any. But I can't say any are my favorite. I never like looked at a level in Spyro 2 and was like, oh, that's my level, man. Spyro 1 levels are... Okay, Spyro 1, like, as far as like the game's concerned, it's a lot more you know, it's not based on mini games and stuff. It's just about, you know, platforming and getting to the end and collecting everything. So it's far more straightforward. High Caves is pretty good. Like, I always enjoyed the early, you know, like, like Dark Hollow is like good. I like the music in it. I like the level design. I liked like that out of like early levels. Dark Hollow is fine. The one where you don't die a lot. I liked a lot of Nasty Norks, like Nasty Norks, like hit that world. I can't remember what it's called. I liked all of the levels from there. I like Twilight Harbor. I wish I remembered the rest of the names because now I sound like an idiot because I can't recall them because I don't remember the names to Spyro levels very well. Just because it's just I don't play it day in and day out, and it's just not the game that like I remember every little thing about. I don't know. That's just Spyro 3, Sunnyvale, or Cloud Spires. That would be my favorite to horribly elongate the question around, round it up. Let's show Spud's image because it's Oh, I should send this to Insomniac when they asked how will Spyro shoot a gun.
Took a while, but we got back to you.
Yeah. Hey, well, I mean, I told him in his mouth, so I didn't fail to disappoint. Maybe that might be my profile. I don't know. I like it. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. 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 Goodly good. Crash equal 2. I mean, I really can't tell you if there's any favorite Spyro, or I mean, favorite Crash level for me. It didn't have the same impact, mainly because I didn't get to play a Crash game till way later. So because it wasn't like I didn't play a Crash game till I was in middle school. So by then, it was like I played it, but it just didn't have the impact. The jungle one, yeah, every level in Crash is my favorite. Every single one. Except
Stormy Descent. I mean, Stormy Ascent. Not Descent.
Couldn't tell you where that is or what level that is or what happens in it.
It's not used in the game. It's an unused level.
Oh, that's my favorite level. The one that's not in the game. My favorite level. The one that got cut.
Because it was too hard.
The one where you ride a motorcycle. Whatever the fuck that was.
Hog Wild?
I think. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I will say, based on, like, going on levels for a minute, I always, it got put into the, oh yeah, it did. I don't remember, though, because I don't remember Crash games, ever. I play them, and then that's it. I look at, like, sort of the quality of the levels, but I don't really remember them. Oh, that's cool. Oh, yeah! That being added as DLC is what made people bring up cut content in, that's what made people bring up cut content in Spyro, is, that being added into the Insane Trilogy. Which is interesting. I'm curious if they would add in, cut content, but, they have to finish the game, so probably not expecting that for a while. I was going to say, I will say, while we're on, like, level design, I always liked, even though the levels are really dated looking, I always liked the level designs for some of Mario 64, because they were so surreal, because they weren't, like, the levels were designed, like, they're, like Mario Odyssey sort of, like, has a world look to it, like a believable world. Like, I could see this being, like, an area in the Mario, like, sort of universe. Whereas Mario 64 is super surreal and, like, video gamey, and, like, this is, like you, I don't know how to, it's just super surreal feeling. It feels like you're in some painting that's, like, a made-up world that doesn't have to follow rules or have real world looking geometry. Like, you can add, like, it's out there. I always liked it. Doesn't mean it's great, but I liked it. Yeah, no other Mario game ever replicated that sort of appeal. Yeah, for better or for worse. It's a personal an attachment. What sort of collectibles should there be in Half-Life: Year of the Dragon? gems and
Mouth gun.
mouth gun. That's the ultimate collectible. I don't know. I don't know what collectibles I could put into it. I mean, I guess I could make like a generic collectible entity that people could assign to whatever they want for the toolkit, but I don't know what I would do for Year of the Dragon. I think gems is a very fine collection. I mean, I guess when you beat each level, I could give you a collectible for beating the level that's based on the chapter. Kind of like the talismans in Spyro 2, but I haven't really thought about it. I mean, like, yeah, with that in mind, Uncanny, like the Zen Crystal could be the collectible of Zen. Year of the Dragonfly. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, ooh. How about I still have not played Enter the Dragonfly, and I will never play it or acknowledge it, other than that it's a bad game. It's an unfinished, broken pile of garbage. It's a Ride to Hell Retribution, but Spyro. It's a horrible. People bring it up all the time as a joke. I'm like, I mean, it's awful. I don't disagree, but I mean, there's people that say they'll play it just to see how bad it is. I'm like, I don't think you need to play it to see how bad it is. You can experience it through word of mouth and seeing it. You don't have to play it. It's really bad. I played. Ooh. Oh man, this has gone 2 hours now, man. I didn't think it would get that far. We finished the game
2 hours.
we finished the game in like 45 minutes, and we've been talking for like an hour and a half. My throat's drying out from talking a whole lot. I haven't done that in a while. I think as far as questions, I think everything's about answered. I mean, I could always have another one later down the road, another Q&A sort of thing, if more questions prop up or not. I guess I'll put a wrap on this. I thank everybody for coming out to the stream. It was nice to talk and like discuss the game and like I guess kind of just chit chat for a while, which is really good. Thanks also to those of you that have fueled my 3,000 subscribers. That's cool. I remember getting like 100 subs like back in like 2008 or 9 and being like, man, I can't wait till I get to 1,000. Never. And then, well, I eventually got to 1,000, which is cool. I'm glad people are interested in the weird shit I do. Yeah, I mean, like, thanks for coming out. Don't check Social Blade. I already did. I'm like a D rank on there, like a C or D or something. I don't care. I'm not in it for. Oh yeah. It's all for the fun. Like I like to see like my community grow, but it's for the fun of it. I mean, yeah, it's neat. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's it. This will be up later. It shouldn't be taken down or anything, so people can see it. So I'm going to probably go to sleep now, or do something. I don't know. So see ya. Bye. 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 Like that. Thanks for coming out. Oh, I'll probably put up the Spud art on my Twitter if people want to see it. I'll put it in the Discord as well, in the chat, or Spud can put it in the chat. I'll put it on Twitter though. See ya.